What's up guys, Chalaja here with another video for you, and this time we have a huge sandbox shoot looter experience with Fallout 4. The main overhauls of this setup come from Horizon and a mod called Fallout 476. Fallout 476 removes all human actors and all quests from the game and opens up the game world as a sandbox RPG. I like this for a few reasons. One, I've played through the game's main quests way too many times this year, and that includes most of the popular DLC size mods. So I'm pretty tired of going through the motions of dialogue and completing quests. Second, it makes the game a little more challenging because you will find a lot less weapons and ammo without human NPCs to fight or quests to reward you with loot. Combining this with the changes from Horizon makes this a very unforgiving load order to begin your experience at level 1 with. Fallout 476 also gives you the option to replace the game's human actors with either feral ghouls, synths, or nothing at all. I went with feral ghouls because it fits with the roleplay that I'm doing with this save, and we'll get into that later. Some other options that come with this mod include the Fallout 76 style encounters like adding radial nukes or griefers, but I'm not using these because it doesn't really fit with the roleplay I'm doing. So now let's talk about Horizon and some of the overhauls that come with it. Crafting is completely overhauled and balanced. Horizon has the ability to craft your own weapons and ammo. This is absolutely key to a playthrough like mine because most vendors are feral ghouls now, and the few robot vendors that remain have almost nothing left to sell. Food no longer restores health, stim packs are now adrenaline pack injectors, and they only revive companions, they don't heal you at all, and I'm pretty much left to craft or find all of my own healing supplies. Doctors have been removed from this playthrough as well. I installed Horizon with the Scaver preset because I'm playing a heavy shoot looter experience, but if you want a completely unforgiving survival playthrough, you can do this load order with Desolation setting when installing Horizon and playing on survival difficulty. If you aren't familiar with Horizon, it completely overhauls perks and adds passive skill gain into your progression. Every time you craft, scrap, use certain weapon class, etc., you'll gain points towards that skill, but getting general XP from crafting is now removed. So why am I playing these two mods together? Well, I wanted to create a high-density shooter experience with the Horizon leveling system, and I thought a post-Fallout 4 roleplay, where there are almost no humans left, would be a really cool experience. I decided that after the events of Fallout 4, an indeterminate amount of time, another nuclear war took place, and humankind is very much on the brink of extinction. Both of these mods together make loot incredibly scarce. Horizon removes stim packs, removes a lot of ammo and medicine from the game world and vendors, and when combined with Fallout 476, you really have to work hard to get resources together at the beginning. Horizon also adds a lot of settlement gameplay that is balanced, but helps you get tons of resources for crafting in the late game. In my playthrough, I'm role-playing that the humans I've recruited to Sanctuary are the totality of who I can find, and the rest of my settlements will be occupied by synths. I'm also a pretty big fan of Wilson. He's an iBot that can carry junk back to a settlement of your choice for you, even while you're in the middle of a dungeon crawl. So why not use weightless junk? Well, as many mods as I've combined with Horizon here in this load order, I also have patches to rebalance them to have less loot and be more in line with the Horizon loot system. The entire point of using Horizon is to feel like the game is balanced, and I love this balance. Using weightless junk would just defeat the purpose of many of the systems developed in that sweet mod. I'm a few days into my playthrough, and I'm still upgrading a shotgun and a laser rifle as I get the resources. I found my first suit of power armor last night, and it really felt like a huge gain as equipment is so rare with no factions or humans in the game. Just to compare, in my last non-Horizon playthrough, I found a Gauss rifle in the first few hours, and I had it fully upgraded by the end of the day. This setup is pretty insane. Every time I go to Diamond City to trade with the 2 remaining robot vendors, I have to fight off a horde of ghouls, and since I've started my playthrough, none of the vendors have restocked supplies. Just have to say again, I really like the added scarcity of this setup. It really feels like a post-Fallout 4 and post-human world. Another super important mod for this experience is Beantown Interiors Project. This opens up a lot of the boarded buildings for exploration throughout the Commonwealth, which I feel is pretty integral to a fun sandbox experience. I don't really understand why Bethesda left so many of these buildings boarded up in a game that's supposed to be about scavenging and exploration, which seems like a huge oversight. It wasn't. It's just like a budget or time crunch. The next really important mod is Endless Warfare. You can choose between the older, more popular version or the newer MCM version. I'm using the newer one as I found it to be more stable with my load order. You could also use War of the Commonwealth, which actually has a balance patch for Horizon on Nexus. I get really bad crashes even with that setup, so I ended up going with Endless Warfare. Since I am playing a no faction, no human NPC roleplay, I've added super mutants, robots, and creatures, and I leave everything else at 0. With my potato computer, I can't take the spawn chance further than around 40% without getting crashes after about an hour or so. But I think I have it at 25, and that works well for me. But that actually feels like a good spot because no matter where I go, I'm fighting off a horde of ferals. I'm not going to lie, starting off with all of these mods is a tough start to a playthrough. but it really makes it worth it. Like every piece of gear, every new weapon you get, it's so exciting and you're just so happy that you got some kind of an upgrade. A good strategy at lower levels is to guide mobs into each other if you get noticed by an enemy or mob that you can't defeat. You should spend those early levels diving into interiors and dungeons, picking up as much junk, ammo, weapons, and medicine as you can. The good news is that most interiors will only have some feral ghouls, because all human actors have been changed into them, which you can deal with at the early levels. The only other mod I have for spawning enemies at the moment is Zayton's Alien Invaders of the Commonwealth, but I plan on adding Mutant Menagerie and Unique Monsters and Creatures of the Commonwealth very soon, which also have patches for Horizon. Okay, so moving on, I figured it would be a good idea to add some world space mods to extend the scavenging experience as long as possible. These mods aren't necessary to this load order unless you want to use the Horizon NER settlement patches for transfer settlements. Even if you don't intend on doing that, I would recommend installing them to add more places to explore in your playthrough. Sometimes it's just nice to leave the Commonwealth. So these mods would be Northern Springs, Sanders Aid, and Barrenwood. Unfortunately, I could not find a Horizon patch for Northern Springs, but it's still worth having. I will likely add more world space mods as I keep playing. Finally, I'm running West Tech Optics and Eli's Armor Compendium with Horizon patches. The main mods I'm using for visuals are the Ice Pick Overhaul and Vivid Weathers. Ice Pick retextures the Commonwealth with snow, and Vivid Weathers adds really cool weather cycles that can fit many role plays with the options available. I'll just show you guys a sample of some of the weathers in my playthrough. The final mods I'm using to tweak the visuals would be Enhanced Lights and Effects, Ultra Interior Lighting, and Ultra Exterior Lighting. Your mod organizer will show a conflict between the last two, but it doesn't matter. They both contain some of the same instances, and that's fine. My plan going forward is to get the version 1.88 Horizon weapons patches, and all the weapons that it would patch. I mean, that's so many mods to download, but I'm definitely doing that pretty soon. That's about it for the important mods. The rest are mostly installed because they are required for the Horizon NER settlements on Nexus with transfer settlements. My entire load order is posted in the description, and if you want to give it a try, go check it out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.